Viltrumites, I have constructed another farm. I am so cutting that out. So as you guys know, most super smelters are based off coal, and you have to insert the coal by yourself. It's annoying, nobody wants to do that. So I tried to find a module that used carpet-dupers instead, and there wasn't much out there that really impressed me.
But today I'm going to be showing you how to create an infinite fuel source furnace array that can smelt 64 items in 20 seconds. Here is everything you need to build.
Only 32 furnaces? Fucking amateur. Most of them just use like one carpet-duper module and it sucked and it was lame. So we decided to build one ourselves. And here it is. Alright, so off rip there's a couple of things that look a little peculiar. But guys, you gotta believe me. You gotta believe me. This was like the most efficient way to store items. Please, please, you gotta believe me. There was like no better way. Please, please, I need views, please. Before building this farm, there's a couple of things you should know. For one, this is only tested in vanilla, so if you're playing on a paper server, a spigot server, whatever, there's no guarantee this is gonna work. So build with your own risk if you're playing on a modded server. And for two, this isn't exactly very lag friendly. Yeah, no, not very lag friendly. You might piss off a server owner or two if you build this on a public server. Alright, for real this time, I'm just gonna show you guys around the farm, how the redstone works, just how everything works in general. I hope by the end of this video, you guys have a better understanding of how this farm works, so you guys can better understand it when you build it yourselves. Alright, without further ado, let's get into it. To start off, I'll show you guys the carpet-duper portion. When you press this stone button, it'll activate this copper bulb, which will activate this comparator, which will activate this repeater. When this repeater is activated, it'll power this redstone dust, and this redstone dust does two things. For one, it powers this block here, which will turn off this torch and activate this part of the carpet-duper. And there's also a repeater inside this area here, and when this activates, this repeater activates, and it will turn off this redstone torch here. It'll activate this part of the carpet-duper as well. When the carpet-duper activates, all the duped carpets will fall into this water channel here, and it'll hit this chest. The reason it hits that chest is because it needs to align properly so these hoppers here can pick up the carpets and fill up the furnaces with carpets. When the last hopper is filled, this comparator here will read that and output a signal and send it all the way back over here. And the reason it does that is because it'll tell you when the basically it'll just tell you when there's enough carpets in the system. Stupid freaking chicken. While we're on the topic of chickens, let's also talk about this input system here. The reason why we're using chest boats is because they can lay evenly across 6 hoppers, and that's needed for maximum efficiency as it allows stuff to go into this chest boat here way faster, which eventually gets picked up by these hopper minecarts here. The reason why we're using chickens here is because their hitboxes are very small, and it allows us to put chests in these top boats here and allows us to save on hoppers. We use a pig in this chest boat here because if it was a chicken, it'd lay eggs into these hopper minecarts here, and that would break the farm. Quick editor's note here. Sometimes the chickens can lay eggs that get into the hopper system and break the farm, so I recommend not using chickens and instead using something like endermites or bees. That way they don't lay anything and the farm can work flawlessly. Now moving on to item distribution. When you press this button here, it'll activate this copper bulb here. When that copper bulb is activated, this comparator will turn on and activate this redstone torch here, turning it off. In turn, this redstone line turns off and powers this redstone torch here. This redstone torch will power this here, and then it'll turn off this torch here, turning off this line here. When this line is turned off, it does two things. For one, it'll turn on this redstone torch here and make these pistons extend, and it'll also update this observer and turn on this copper bulb here. And in total, this makes it so that the collection system and the item distribution system starts to work. When the copper bulb is activated, this redstone torch here will also power this line here and here, and both of these lines tick an observer, which kickstarts the item distribution system. Meanwhile, this redstone line turns off here, activates this copper bulb here, turns on this comparator here, and turns off this redstone torch here. When this redstone torch is turned off, it allows these minecarts here to be dispensed and start collecting items from the furnaces here. This is arguably the coolest part about the smelter. After the collection minecarts travel through the smelter, they'll end up over here and get destroyed by these lava cauldrons here. The minecars will end up back in these droppers over here, while the items will get spewed out into this water chute here and go travel up through and end up in these chests over here. And after all that, all your precious items will be in these chests ready for your use. And that's the entire smelter broken down. Some other important information is to never go too far away from the smelter while smelting, or else it'll break. Also, a common problem is that sometimes some of the coral down here will break. If that ever happens to you, what you can do is just move the coral up 1 block, and that should stop the breaking from occurring. And before I get asked, these furnaces are just here to act as walls, because otherwise, with any other block, the slime blocks would just move it. But since furnaces are a storage block, they can't move them. That's just the only reason the furnaces are there. Using the farm is pretty simple. If you wanted to smelt, say, I don't know, a whole shulker worth of cobblestone, all you have to do is put it in there, and then just wait a minute. Alright, now that it's been about a minute, all we have to do is turn on the carpet-duper switch, and turn on the actual farm, and then it should start producing cobblestone. Or normal stone, I mean. The reason why we have to wait a little bit is because we want the boat chest to fill up a bit before we start the farm. And it's gonna work perfectly. Alright, that's pretty much everything to cover about the smelter. I hope you guys enjoyed the breakdown of the smelter and enjoyed the design. Good luck to any of you who will build it, and that's about it for this video. Thank you for watching, and see you later.